Welcome back to the Delaware Way. I'd like to introduce you to Annie Norman, who is the State Librarian for Delaware. What exactly does a State Librarian do? You run all of the libraries?
No, not at all. I'm actually responsible for library development. We help libraries evolve. So I don't actually govern any of the libraries. They all work together collaboratively.
Libraries evolving must be a monumental task in this digital age. Tell me, how long have you had the job?
I've been in this particular position for 12 years. I've been at the agency for 29 years. In
those 12 years, things have changed so quickly, and I would imagine you have to stay on top of the changing technology. From when you started to where you're at now, what's the difference?
Wow. Well, it's very exciting. It's also exhausting. 12 years ago, we decided to use some business tools, which we learned that we needed to have live data and we needed to work together as a single system, so the systems thinking idea. So the libraries have a history of collaborating together, but we embarked on setting up a single statewide library technology infrastructure. So we have a network, we now have wireless, it's some of the fastest broadband speed in the nation. We have a single Delaware Library catalog, which includes over 50 libraries. It's all the public libraries. It's many of the academic libraries, special libraries, and some charter schools who are sharing more than 2.5 million physical and electronic items. We're able to innovate faster now with e-books and all sorts of items that are available online.
Let's hit three of the things you just talked about because you went through them pretty quickly. Yeah. So the importance of having this one system is I can go to a library in Wilmington and I can get something from the library in Dover. It's available to me because I'm online.
Absolutely.
Secondly, the high speed. So if I have a slow internet in my apartment complex, I can come to you, and how fast is your internet compared to what most people have?
It's 100 megabits in every library, even the tiny libraries. And for the large libraries, we're going to go to 1 gig in the next fiscal year.
So that's a great reason as to why you still have these buildings, because I would think the libraries are evolving so fast that everything is available online. It's one reason you need a community library. What are some others?
Well, I think we're using less and less stack space now. In fact, we're saying, you know, put the stacks on wheels so you can wheel them out of the way, you can move them out, because it's more about meeting space, it's activities, programs, people collaborating on community activities, entrepreneurship, all sorts of things. So people can use this from home or remotely, or they can come in and collaborate, get assistance from the librarians or from each other.
Let's talk about those two things. First, from home. So I need a library card to access?
Correct. And
from you, I can get, you mentioned ebooks. Can I get a movie? Can I get an audiobook?
Right, so we've had ebooks for 3 years. Now we have e-audiobooks. This year we started streaming video. It's all the collections start small, but they grow. So keep checking back. And then we also started Flipster magazines, which are magazines that look like the real magazine.
Right, and you take your iPad and you flip through them. With all of this stuff free, I would imagine everybody in Delaware has a library card at this point?
Well, more than 50% of Delawareans have a library card, and our goal is 100%. Now, we think that some of those represent families, and it would be ideal if families, even if they only want to use one card so they can manage all of that, it'd be nice if everyone actually got a card so we could really quantify the fact that we are serving most Delawareans.
Wow, did you hear that? Free movies, free books, free magazines, all you need is a library card.
Of course, it is paid for by your taxes, but...
No, I understand, right. but so you've already paid for it, you might as well take advantage of it.
Use it.
When we did a little bit of a pre-interview, and we talked about something that I didn't think of. I thought to myself, well, people who need extra help have to go to the library, kids have to go to the library. But you brought up something that I had never thought of, and the fact that libraries are an important part of economic redevelopment.
Absolutely.
Explain how that happens.
Great. Well, we got a stimulus grant 3-year stimulus grant with help from the Gates Foundation. It was $2.8 million, and that helped us set up job centers in 4 of the libraries statewide. And at the end of the grant, it was so successful that the legislature and Governor Markell, Secretary Bullock, they supported us in expanding those to inspiration spaces. So when we started the job centers, my concern was, well, what if there aren't jobs? So yes, we've been helping people get jobs, but we really need to help create new businesses. And so we now have these inspiration spaces. We have 3D printers, green screens.
3D printer, why is that important?
3D printer is important so that, well, not only is inspiration for kids in school to see what's possible, but for entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs who have a concept, they can create it in a 3D printer, a prototype that then they could take to get some venture capitalist support.
Great. Annie Norman, it was a pleasure speaking to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Annie Norman is your state librarian for Delaware. Sign up, get a card. As she said a second ago, you're already paying for all this stuff. You might as well take advantage of it. We'll be back in just a minute to talk about a holiday tour that just took place but is still going on. It's not too late. And it's something that's sort of like Longwood Gardens, but not quite, when we come right back.